Hey there, Aquarius, and welcome to your week of February 7th, 2022 tarot reading. We're going to be doing this for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. Cross watchers, you're welcome too. And we're going to start things off by looking at your energy coming into this week. Remember, these are general readings, so this might not all resonate with you. So, geez, trying to get that cat hair. I'm killing everything here. But, just remember these are general readings, so not all this may resonate with you, and just don't try to make those things that don't resonate fit into things. Just take what resonates. All right, so starting off with your energy, Aquarius, we got the Three of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles here. This is really looking good here, because I like this because we're really looking at a very patient energy, a very positive, nurturing energy of growth and energy of knowing that things will take as much time as they take. But what you're starting to grow here, what this thing you kind of have at this moment is not only very fortuitous, it's also something that is going to grow into something even greater. It's going to be like a big, huge payoff for you in the end of this here. So, and I see you as having the patience to stick through it. So that's awesome. That's really awesome, Aquarius. So let's take a look at some challenges. Let's take a look at some clarifiers for this. Then we'll take a look at some challenges for you here and see what we got. We got, wow, there you are, Aquarius. That's the start. Oh, and the King of Wands too. And Justice. Wow. Whoa, that's really awesome here. Wow. I feel like a lot of you are either have just recently started up a relationship, and if you haven't, I feel like you're going to hear in the future very soon, which is awesome. Maybe over the course of this week or the coming weeks. Here, like which I think is someone that's really going to click with you here. Like, wow, we have the Star and Justice here. The Star is your card, Aquarius, and the Justice card is Libra's card. So you may have Libra in your chart. You might be dealing with a Libra this week. You might have might be dealing with a fellow Aquarius as well here. But with the King and Queen of Wands, they're divine counterparts here. So really, like, that's where I feel like that relationship is starting up for some of you here at this time. And this is a really strong relationship. This is something that is going to grow. It's going to be quite powerful. Like, you are in a strong position here with your card coming into this reading, which is really beautiful. Like, that's incredible. I can see why this person would be attracted to you at this time, which is wonderful. Hello, Journey. And with Justice here as well, this is kind of like saying this relationship between the two of you is going to be something where you're both on equal footing. It's not going to be a case of one person is more important than the other, or it's not going to be a case where somebody feels like they're kind of being neglected here in this relationship or anything like that. This is like justice for all, right? This is going to be working in everybody's favor here. I think that's really beautiful. Like, this is really incredible here. Wow, that's awesome. So let's take a look at some challenges here for you this week. See what might be coming here to try and rain on your parade here. Wow, that's, I like that, Aquarius. Like, I'd like to just stop it here, just stop the reading there. But we gotta see what else is going on this week. We got the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon. Oh wow, and the Four of Wands here too. Wow, interesting. Yeah, wow. With the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Four of Wands here. The Moon is Pisces card, so again, you might have Pisces in your chart, might be dealing with a Pisces. Let me know down in the comments below if any of those signs you're popping up here are in your chart. Obviously, Aquarius, you're in your own chart too. Oh, excuse me here, but yeah, this is looking like things are going to be slow moving for sure. Between the two of you, I don't see that as a challenge myself. I feel like because you two are going to connect so well, that might feel like kind of feel like you could, push the envelope. You could make things go faster, but I think going slow is going to be your best bet. So try not to rush things, right? you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So like, just, you know, let things take its time, let it do its own thing. You know, a horse to water, right? So there's that. And especially with the Four of Wands here too, like marriage, like, you know, they might feel like you might be feeling this week especially, or maybe them, like it depends. Here the energies can go both ways, but it might feel like one of you might want to like really force things, really get moving in a hurry here. But I just don't see that as a good idea. Don't let things naturally occur. Let things organically occur, right? Because that's the best way. You know, when you try to force something, it's pretty wild. Like I knew this. I used to know this guy in high school, and he dated his high school sweetheart for a long, long time, and they broke up with her. And then I guess a year later, she was married to somebody else, and like it wasn't like one of those things where she was seeing this guy behind his back. It was no, like she met him like within the year, and then married him within the year, and then apparently they got divorced a few years later, right? Because they rushed things, they ran right into it here, and that can kind of be the danger sometimes. Like this feels really good, and I feel like for all of you, for very likely for most all of you, this is going to be like that true connection. But like again, if you try to force it, it's gonna, you know what they say, you know, if you try to force a fart, it's probably shit, right? So, you know, just be aware of that, right? So let's take a look and clarify some of these challenges, see what's going on here. We can get a little more detail on this. Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's that ace. We got two aces in the reading now with the Ace of Pentacles back here. But with the Ace of Wands now showing up, very interesting because this is really, again, that start, that energy. Like, I feel like you have a lot of energy in this relationship between the two of you. Like, there's going to be quite a bit of energy between the pair of you. And a lot of energy that, like, you kind of just want to let it go. You kind of want to just let it fly and flow free. Like, you want to, like, run with it. But again, like I feel like you just need to take things slow here. Just let it, you know, do its thing. Let nature take its course, right? With the 10 and 9 of Swords here as well, don't rush things. Don't try to like, you know, end the honeymoon phase. You know what I mean? Like the figurative honeymoon phase in this. You know, it's kind of like I'm trying to like rush things where it's like I just want, let's get over the little, like the first couple of cutesy sort of like getting to know you dates and like jump into it because you feel like there's that strong connection here. No, let it play it out, right? Let it just kind of do its own thing, right? With the Nine of Swords here, you may have a lot of fears and concerns and maybe some doubts about this, like that, you know, this is too good to be true. And you sort of don't want to let them see kind of maybe the uglier side of you or the not so good side of you, right? Because you might be afraid that like as good as this connection is, you know, you might have those concerns about yourself where you're like, well, nobody could love this aspect of me, or there's parts of me that I wish they didn't know. I don't want them to know, right? Just let, you know, you gotta just let things happen organically, and they're gonna find out about that stuff. And you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? They'll, you know, your person, your divine counterpart will accept you for who you are, regardless of any, you know, little, you know, whatever you might be worried that they might not accept you for, right? So just let things kind of take their course. Don't try to rush things. Don't try to like gloss over stuff, right? Too, because the same goes the other way, right? Like don't try to gloss over stuff that they give to you, right? Because you might say, oh, that's just a nothing thing. But if you take the time to look at it and really examine it and stuff, you might realize, oh, that's a deal breaker for me, actually. That's not something I'm cool with. And if they're not willing to change or not willing to like compromise even on it, then like I can't deal with that, right? So just let things happen naturally. Let them happen organically here, all right? So let's take a look at some outcome cards for you here. We got the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands. So we got three knights here with the Knight of Pentacles back here as well. So yeah, very interesting because now we got the two fastest moving knights in the deck as well as the Eight of Cups here. And the Eight of Cups, what I like here is this seems like things are going to be moving along very quickly for you, right? The Eight of Cups here, this person's moving on because they're looking for the 9 and 10 of Cups, right? So that's, like I say, I feel like, you know, for a lot of you, it's going to have to be like maybe for some of you, Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, things are going to be going good if you don't rush things, right? But if you do rush things, it's going to be an 8 of Cups. It's going to be moving on to a 9 or a 10. You're going to be looking for something else because this wasn't everything it was cracked up to be, or it just didn't work because of one thing or the other here. Conversely, like if we look on the opposite side here, it could be saying here as well that for those of you who just let it play out, you're on your path to the 9 and 10 of Cups with this person. Like you're on your path to your satisfaction. You're on the path to your dream life here. So I feel like that's really important as well. I feel like that mindset of wanting to rush things is like an 8 of Cups mindset. Whereas the 9 of Cups is about satisfaction, it's about fulfillment, and it's being ready to proceed to your dream life. Proceed, find another person with a 9 of Cups energy and have your dream life with them. I feel like for a lot of you, that kind of energy back here with the challenges is that 8, where it's like we're not ready yet to have that in our lives. Even though it seems like we have it back here, we're not quite ready for it just yet. There's still something a little off. And I feel like for those of you who are trying to force things, that's what's going to happen. But for those of you who are letting things happen naturally, this is more about we're walking to our 9. We're going to that satisfaction, and we are going to get to our 10 of Cups here too. With the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands here as well, I feel like this is all going to happen quite quickly, right? Like again, I said this could take place over the course of this week and the next week and so on and so forth. But I feel like things are going to really speed up the more either you try to force it or the more you just let things happen organically. Like I feel like relatively speaking for those situations, things will move along quite quickly after that. Like we'll be in a good place or we'll be moving on to find something better. So let's see what we got here. See what we have for your clarifiers for your outcome cards. See if we can get some more details on these. There's that 8 of Cups again. Look at that. 2 of Swords. And the Moon again. Look at that. So if you're new to tarot, when cards repeat, that's a very strong message. Especially when a card clarifies itself like the 8 of Cups has here. That's super strong. That's saying like, hey, like pay attention to what we were just talking about there about walking away. Like whether it's you're going to have to move on to find your 9 and your 10 alone, or you're moving on to a 9 and a 10 with this person, right? Like just take a look at it. Again, I feel like things need to happen organically. Now, I didn't really talk about it with the Moon here when we're talking about your challenges, but the Moon represents partial illumination. You can see that very well with this one, where like the bottom sort of half of the card, as well as these people in the card, is kind of concealed. It represents partial illumination. Like you can't see all things, right? And that's kind of what's happening here at the Moon. I feel like you don't necessarily see all things back here in your challenges, and the more you try to push forward and rush through it because you can't see, the more likely you're going to get hurt, right? And that's the same thing with the Moon here in the future. I feel like you're on the right path regardless of what choices you're going to make, whether you're going to rush it or you're going to take your time here. I feel like you're still on your right path regardless. It's just how are you going about that path? And that's what the 2 of Swords is talking about here too. 2s in tarot represent choices, a decision between, 2 or more things, right? And that's what's really going on here is, are you going to be patient and wait here, like this person in the 2 of Swords, or are you going to take your blindfold off and be like, no, I'm not waiting. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try and, make this happen, Captain. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you have that choice to be made here. It's all pointing to this, but I feel like there is no real wrong choice, because especially with those who this relationship doesn't necessarily work out, my favorite thing about that is rejection is redirection. I remember hearing that. I can't remember who I heard that from before. I think it was another tarot reader. But rejection is redirection. Like you are just being redirected to the person you are going to be with for when you are going to be ready for that, and they're ready for you too. So let's take a look. We're going to get your oracle card here, and then we're going to read your oracle message from the book and see what we got to tie everything off for you here, Aquarius. I hope this has been helping you out. Hope this has been resonating with you, Aquarius. And let's see what we got here for you. All right. We got the Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. There's not much more I can say about that, but we will look up number 62, the Turtle Spirit, and get a little more on that for you. How about? All right. The Turtle Spirit arrives to remind you that when you do what you need to do, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you will see your intentions manifest in perfect timing, your prosperity and love will grow exponentially. Now is not the time to rush around trying to force matters. Move slowly, perhaps even so slowly that it almost feels as if you are not moving at all. This may be a time to crawl before walking, taking your time to align to the turtle spirit's place as you contemplate this road you're on. Doing what you need to do is the small move doing what you need to do in this small moment that you will soon pass. The turtle spirit reminds you that sometimes the best actions is to slow right down. So if it feels as if you're not doing enough, know that simply being aware of what is happening right now may be the important step toward determining whether you need to pivot or simply keep putting one foot in front of the other. True love and true success comes with patience, says the turtle spirit. Focus on the now and the next step will be clear. And what did we talk about with the moon? About the road, the path you're on. Talking about that partial illumination, not being able to see all things, and the turtle spirit. That's really, that's really appropriate given everything that's happened here. Is that, you're on the right path. Take it slow, So I feel like for a lot of you, it is going to be take it slow. It is going to be take your time, and it is going to be for you to slow things down here and not rush things, because that's ultimately going to be what is going to be best for this connection and more importantly for you. So I hope that's helped you out, Aquarius. Hope that's resonated with you. Remember, if you want to help out if you want to help out the channel, you hit that like button. You can subscribe to the channel. You can check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos too after this one. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.